Welcome back. Hopeful Horizons CEO Kristin Dubrowski joins me now to discuss a very serious issue. Kristin, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start here. First of all, human trafficking, it's something that we hear about. Is it a problem still, and is it a problem in the Lowcountry?
Yes, unfortunately it is a problem in the Lowcountry. As the local Children's Advocacy Domestic Violence and Rape Crisis Center, we do see survivors of human trafficking, adults and children alike. And there was just a report that came out from the National Human Trafficking Hotline that for 2017 that listed South Carolina, Beaufort County as the county in South Carolina with the 5th highest number of human trafficking cases. So it's definitely an issue here in our state. We know last year the media reported on a trafficking ring out of Jasper County as well. So definitely we're seeing survivors of human trafficking here. It's happening here, and I think we're only becoming more aware of the problem.
So 2017, Beaufort County, 5th highest. How many victims, what kind of numbers are we talking about here? How many victims has Hopeful Horizons served, first of all?
So for 2017, Hopeful Horizons served 12 survivors of human trafficking. 9 of those were adult women and 3 were minor children. We provided services to them including trauma treatment, case management services, emergency domestic violence shelter, and for the children we provided forensic interviews as well.
So what is something that our viewers should know about human trafficking, about this issue?
Well, one thing that viewers should know is that human trafficking can be prevented. Most folks are recruited into trafficking between the ages of 12 and 14 years old, and 90% of kids who have been trafficked are survivors of child sexual abuse. So if we're able to prevent child sexual abuse, we'll be able to prevent the commercial sexual exploitation of children and sex trafficking. And another thing to know is that help is available. People who are trafficked often experience post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms, and organizations like Hopeful Horizons are here to provide services and support, all free of charge.
Why would you say, Kristin, being in your line of work, why would you say that human trafficking is such a problem in our society?
Well, one of the reasons it's a problem is because it's highly profitable. If you think about it, drugs can only be sold once, but a human trafficking victim can be sold thousands of times over, making much more money than drugs ever could. Another reason is that many times the most vulnerable among us are the most at risk. So children, people experiencing homelessness, especially women, people with mental health disorders, disabilities, immigrants, folks like that are frequently the targets of human traffickers.
So let's talk for a moment about scale, just to try and help us wrap our minds here around this. Can you describe the scale of human trafficking, and are these traffickers, are they individuals, or is this considered organized crime?
Well, we've seen all types of victims at Hopeful Horizons, from a domestic violence situation where a woman's partner is selling her for sex for money, where parents are selling children for either money or items of value such as rent or drugs. And we've seen issues with organized crime that move people from state to state, across state lines, and even internationally. So we've seen all types of trafficking here. I think when people think about trafficking, most likely they think about organized crime, but it probably happens even more frequently with just individuals, with partners, with parents, things of that nature, employers.
So let's talk for a moment about what we can be looking for as individuals in society. What are some signs that a person is being trafficked?
Well, one thing is that they may not be able to come and go as they please. They may not know their place of residence. They may not have documentation or access to money. Some visual cues could include being disoriented, not speaking, being very passive, maybe showing signs of physical abuse or torture, being very fearful and nervous all the time.
So when we see things like this, what should we do?
So you can contact the National Human Trafficking Hotline. It's a project organized by Polaris, which is a national organization that has a 1-800 number that you can report to. You can contact local law enforcement.
All very important things to know. Kristin, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you so much.
After this quick break, we'll be back with more of your news. Stay close.